Minister, welcome. You're banking 96% of revenue upgrades this year to take pressure off inflation. What about next year?
Well, thanks for having me on. The revenue upgrades are certainly, they don't continue across the forward estimates. So it becomes a harder job, I think, as we don't see some of those increases that we've had in recent years to continue to put large amounts back into the budget. And we have, increasing pressures on spending. So I think since coming to government, we've saved about 82% of revenue upgrades. They've been put back in to make sure we can pay down debt and reduce deficits. But that job gets harder as the revenue increases decline, and we've got some of those real big areas of spending, those pressures are intensifying.
Next year, you're spending more than twice the upgrades. The inflation problem won't have disappeared by then, will it?
Well, in the 24-25 financial year, the spending really there, and we've had to show a lot of restraint. And so when you look at the combination of what is that spending happening in that year, it's really 2/3 of it's what we would see as unavoidable spending. So it's things like ICT rebuilds for aged care. It's programs that were just going to end that had no ongoing funding, but really aren't programs that should end. So a lot in the health space, the COVID-19 response. And that's about 2/3 of the net spend. The other third is really the cost of living relief package that we've announced in the budget today, which is, the extra help on energy bills, the rent assistance and cheaper medicine. So it's things like that which impact in that financial year. But we have also tried to find savings where we can, reprioritisations as well, to make sure that we're not putting too much pressure on the budget.
You've said cost of living relief will lower inflation. Many economists say it's true on the headline number, but could make things worse by giving people more money to spend. How confident are you it won't backfire?
Well, the advice to government is pretty clear, and we looked at how we rolled out the energy bill relief in the last budget. We were pretty happy with how that went and the downward pressure that it had on inflation. I think the announcement that we've made in this budget has a broader application of that, but that's recognition as well that, whilst, obviously our focus is on inflation, that households across Australia are really feeling the pinch, as are businesses, and this is a neat way that we can provide some extra support, which puts downward pressure on inflation at the same time and is time limited to that payment.
Could the cost of living assistance have been better targeted?
Well, a lot of the cost of living measures are targeted.
The $300 energy subsidy goes to every household. Not everyone is doing it tough.
Well, I think there has to be a recognition, and also in the design of the program, the way that we roll this out is through states and territories and the retailers. So it's through household bills. So there comes an issue around the design of the program as well and how to get this relief out. But the Commonwealth rent assistance increase is targeted, but the energy bill relief also recognises that, there are people doing it really tough who sit outside the concessions or the pension arrangements, and that this is a way that it's not money in your pocket, it's not in your bank account, this is going to be paid through your energy bill to put downward pressure on inflation and give some support at the same time. And we're seeing that pressure up and down the income scale.
Hopes for productivity growth underpin the future made in Australia. It is a big ticket item which will take years to pay dividends. A lot of experts, including your own Productivity Commissioner, question whether it is the best use of public money. Why will this bet pay off?
When you look at the package as a whole, it's in the order of just over $22 billion over the medium term. That the vast majority of that support comes through the tax system, through the production tax credits. So, it's incentivising investment and production of the transition to net zero, and that's a real way where we're incentivising and paying on the production of, say, green hydrogen, or through the refining and processing of critical minerals. So I think a lot of people before thought it would be through grants or other arrangements with specific industries or companies. But the way we've designed it is really to incentivise the production and the transition to net zero, and we think it will be successful, and it's also what a lot of people have been calling for.
Katie Gallagher, thank you.
Thanks so much.